This morning, victims' family members and survivors of the September 11th attacks gathered in North Plains to protest the tournament's ties to Saudi Arabia.
16 of the 19 hijackers on 9/11 were from Saudi Arabia, and there's been wide speculation about the kingdom's ties to those hijackers. Fox 12's Adrian Thomas joins us now live outside Pumpkin Ridge with more reaction tonight. Adrian?
Well, Pete and Bonnie, we've been outside the Live Golf Invitational for most of today, and it's been pretty quiet so far. For the victims' families and survivors of the September 11th attacks, they say holding the tournament here is deeply offensive. We also spoke to one man who lives across the street from the Live Golf Invitational, and he says he's opening up his land to anyone who wants to peacefully protest.
And this takes precedence.
Ricky Freeman owns Sunstone Ranch, which is a stone's throw away from Pumpkin Ridge. He says he's offering up his property to anyone who wants to come peacefully gather and protest Live Golf.
We don't want to intimidate the people that are over there. We want to let them know that we haven't forgotten those voices.
Not forgetting the voices of those whose deaths have been linked to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, whose government is funding Live Golf. The kingdom's alleged ties to the September 11th attacks, documented human rights abuses, the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi, and locally, the death of Fallon Smart, all fueling the outrage over the event. Fallon Smart was tragically killed when she was hit by a car in southeast Portland in 2016. The driver, a Saudi man, is believed to have fled the U.S. back to Saudi Arabia with help from the kingdom. In North Plains this morning, survivors and family members of the victims in the September 11th attacks say the Live Golf tournament has opened old wounds.
Never would I imagine that I would have to be here with 10 other 9/11 family members flying across the country to speak out against American golfers who are getting in bed with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The kingdom, which our own FBI says, facilitated the murder of our loved ones.
Also in the group, two sisters who lost their father, who was a New York City firefighter on that fateful day.
After 9/11, this country and the American people swore to never forget. Well, here we are, nearly 21 years later, with no justice, and the responsible parties are being allowed to operate on American soil with impunity. It is shameful, it is wrong, it is hurtful.
As a child, your parents are your whole world, and my dad was mine. In his firehouse, he lost 19 men, and that last left over 50 children without fathers to be there for their birthdays and graduations and those moments that they should have.
And we reached out to local law enforcement to see if there are any planned demonstrations going into this weekend, and we haven't heard any word yet if there are any planned demonstrations or not. Live in North Plains, Adrian Thomas, Fox 12, Oregon.
Meanwhile, we have reached out to Live Golf for comment, but have not heard back. We did hear from the chief event officer here locally, who stressed the positive impact for the local economy and for local charities. And many of the players at today's event have gone on the record to urge fans to focus on the positives going forward rather than any wrongdoings in the past.